Top of the top, everybody. It's Thursday night, and today we are making some banana pudding. Now, this recipe is Paula Deen's recipe, kinda. I put my own little twist on it. So, of course, if you're making banana pudding, you gotta have your Nilla wafers. You gotta have, and for me, I gotta have my Biscoff cookies. Now, I know other people, if you're old school, strictly Nilla wafers and nothing else. I know some other people will use the Nilla wafers and they'll use the chessmen cookies. I've actually done this recipe that way. I like the chessmen cookies, but I like the Biscoff cookies. Something about these airplane cookies, I really like them. So ingredients today, I have French vanilla pudding mix. I got the instant kind. I know y'all don't come for me for that, but you know, I'm trying to do things quick. Nobody wants to watch a super long video, so I want to do things quick. So I have the French vanilla, I have some cream cheese, I have some sweetened condensed milk, and as you see, I've washed my can because you can see that I've ripped that stuff off. And I have whipped cream in my freezer, the Cool Whip kind. So let's go ahead and get started. This is not going to be a long video. This is going to be fairly quick. The first thing I actually need to do is I need to take this cream cheese and I need to dump this in here. All right, so got my cream cheese in here. Now I'm going to pour this whole can of sweetened condensed milk in there. We're going to blend this up. We are done with that. Now the next thing we're got to do is take our pudding mixture and then 2 cups of milk, and we're going to go ahead and mix this up. And we're going to mix this until it becomes a pudding mixture. It becomes pudding. I'm not going to make you guys watch that, but all right, now I'm going to pour this mix in here. The thing we need to do is take the whipped cream and mix it in. So, steps. Here are the steps. Take your, goodness, it's late. I can't even think. Take your cream cheese and your condensed milk, blend it. Once that's blended, put that in a bowl. You need 12 ounces of whipped cream. And now we're just going to fold this in. Alright, so our pudding has thickened up, as you see. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that into our whipped cream batter mixture. Ooh, if I wasn't on camera right now, I'd be having some of this already. All right, so again, we're gonna fold this in. Me and my son, we typically, I know this sounds weird, but we like banana pudding when it has the least amount of bananas in it. We, don't get us wrong, we like the bananas in it, but not too much. I'm gonna move this to the side, and now we're gonna get into the fun part. So, I'm gonna get my fat boy on. This is how I do mine. I'm gonna do a layer like this. And again, you make this how you want it. I feel like I should move this closer so you guys can see. Sorry about that. But you see how I'm lining mine up? And then of course, I got to make sure it's lined up on the sides too. We like a lot of cookies over here. Like, that's my favorite part. Besides the pudding part, the cookies. Love the cookies. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pour some of this in right now. Now, I typically like to do 2 layers, so depending on how many layers you want to do, be careful of how much you put in on the first layer, because if you put too much in on the first layer, you're not going to be able to layer. So now, cut some bananas. My bananas have been through it, but we don't let nothing go to waste, so. And you make this however you want. You layer it however you want. This is your time to do what you like. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, first layer is done. You see how I have everything lined up? So now we're going to go ahead and put the next layer on. Okay, let's run it back. Keep on going. All right, this is the last layer. So this is tricky because if I've done this right, I should be able to cover the whole top. But it's looking kind of thin in this bowl, so we're gonna see how this plays out. Now, since this is the final layer, I'm not going to put any bananas on the top, just because, you know, with bananas, they change color, and that's not going to be visually appealing. So we just going to do cookies, and that's kind of what I want to do anyway. I feel like I've used enough bananas for my liking. Other people may not like the amount of bananas that I put on here. They're like, boy, that ain't no banana pudding. You barely put any bananas in there. But this is how I like it. So this is how I get down. This is what I want. And we are just going to layer this with some more cookies. And like that, we done. So this is going to go in my fridge. I'll put this in the fridge for about an hour before I have some. Honestly, you could go for a little bit more. You want to do 2 hours, you basically just want this to set. But that concludes our video today. I hope you guys enjoyed me making this banana pudding my way. Be blessed, take care, and don't forget to say your prayers. And I'm out.